Alright, so last week I went out to take picture with my Fujifilm X-T3, which is a pretty decent semi-professional camera. If you can afford it, around $1,200 used with a kit lens, I think it's definitely a great purchase. It's one of the classic camera that has the look and has the quality in terms of its image for photo and even for videos. So highly recommended. Not that you need this compared to the NEX 5T that I showed you previous week. You know, it depends on your budget. Going for a walk and taking pictures, this will definitely inspire to take pictures. You know, you just feel like grabbing one of these because it looks so cool, right? And take pictures. Now, this week I'll be talking about the Sigma FP. As you can see, this one here. Now, Sigma generally, the camera itself is a full frame. For me, it's not meant to take pictures, but I just want to go out there, and if this is the camera I have, and only camera that I have, it's still amazing camera, especially it's a full frame, and the color that comes from this, and I have to say, is beautiful, okay? Like the Fujifilm has its film simulation, similarly, the Sigma FP has its film simulation built into the camera. And it has other features like waveform and all that, which I forgot to mention about Fujifilm when you do video. This camera is meant for filming, right? Especially I use it for a night scene. It's just, I don't know how to describe it. It just pops out. If you want camera that take evening and night scene image video, this is the camera. Now I'm just going to talk about photography, whether this is okay for taking photography, and I say yeah, it does a pretty decent job. The image, if you nail the focus correctly, which I usually use manual focus here, you can see I'm attached to it is the Nikon 24mm f2.8, okay? Manual lens, beautiful lens by the way, attached to my Sigma. Now notice there's an adapter here, okay? So attached to this camera. So this is a good camera for filming, but photography wise, well, you can have a look at the image at the end, but I'll just briefly talk about the pros and cons, right, about this camera. Well, this camera do have a beautiful image that comes out of it if you just nail the focus, right? And you set the color, like landscape setting, or the color that you want based on Sigma's film simulation. Just set it like that, and that's what I usually do. And make sure you have the exposure set according to the screen properly. And that's, I think that is the problem with this camera, is that this screen here, when the sun comes out, it's very bright, you won't be able to see it. So you have to go like this, right? Or buy one of those kind of like a cup, I guess you can say, and then it will cover this, which looks kind of weird. But if you do want to take pictures, that's what I would say you need to do, especially if you're going out during daytime with a lot of sun. It's hard to see image on this. Now I was able to take most of the picture and be able to nail the focus pretty good. And the reason for that is that you can actually zoom in to the image 8 times, right? So then I was just using the ring, the focus ring, to adjust. Using the focus peaking, I was able to focus on the image properly and take the picture, right? Especially when you're talking about a wide angle lens, usually you'll be able to nail the focus pretty good. With the zoom lens, it might be harder, but usually when I go out to take picture, I usually bring a wide angle lens, like the 24mm lens, full frame. So yeah, have a look at the image at the end, because it's hard to describe this camera as being a good photography camera. It is just a camera. If you have it, you can use it, and if you get it right, the image, if it's focused right, and the color setting, the way it's set in the camera, you're gonna love the image. I think it's beautiful. You just, I would say, underexpose the image, then you can crank it up, because I think for Sigma anyway, underexpose and bring up a little bit of the highlights will make the image beautiful. The raw image, like DNG, that comes out of this camera is just beautiful. Of course, like I said, this camera is meant for filming. I bought this, the reason I bought this is really for the raw DNG. It is a supplement to my Sony FS700R, which also can record DNG with the Shogun. So yeah, this is meant for filming, videoing, but photography, not bad, right? As long as you nail the focus, okay? Yeah, so have a look at the image at the end and see what you think.